So this is the practice again of peace beyond preference. And begin by, let's take a breath together. Just a slow, steady, conscious breath. And as you exhale, allow the body to soften. Allow the mind to gently settle. And again, just arrive. And we all seek inner peace. Each and every one of us. Yet, if we look honestly, we find that most of our moments that we carry some degree of agitation, a disease. It's an inner dis-ease. It might be a low background, imperceptible, sometimes often even unnoticed hum of restlessness, of boredom, of dissatisfaction, of lackness. It might be a subtle irritation, annoyance, or it might be a storm. This inner dis-ease. It might be a storm of rage, shame, fear, self-judgment. Just notice what that storm often is for you, or what that low hum might be for you. But just notice this. This is what the Buddha called dukkha. It's just the fundamental conditioning that lives within all human beings. Life's seemingly unsatisfactory nature. Things always happening that we don't want, and things that we want always not happening. And most of the time we don't truly understand how this thing called being a human being works, or how we even play this game right, if there is a way to play it right. So we spend our lives chasing after what's believed to be pleasant, running away from the unpleasant, trying to just make life match the preferences in our head. And yet, peace never quite lasts, does it? Because every yes eventually turns into a no. Every moment that we run toward and grab onto and cling to what's pleasant, inevitably it begins to fade or change valence even. Every moment that we resist the pain, for some reason, it seems to grow stronger. So the Buddha offered us a different way. A way of that it's beyond the mind's happiness and unhappiness. Not the pursuit of one over the other, but the discovery of something that's deeper than both. Deep, unshakable inner peace. And how do we touch that? We begin by just observing the experience that we're having without reacting to it. To simply watch without there being an inner yes nor an inner no. Without trying to push this experience away or pull this experience closer, without needing the moment to be other than it already is. Indeed, we meet each perception, each thought, each emotion with balance, with upekkha, with equanimity, with a balanced mind, non-reactive to either pleasure nor pain. And it sounds simple, but it isn't easy. Because when a painful memory or a charged emotion or an unwanted thought arises, the instinctive reaction of the mind is to tighten and to push it away. We hate it. We want it to be gone, and yet the more that we resist it, the more we fight it, the more power it seems to have over us. But if for one breath, for one heartbeat, we can simply observe, to see that this experience is just a passing movement of energy in the body, changing moment by moment, something remarkable begins to unfold. The illusion that this is my pain begins to diminish in importance and significance. It begins to dissolve, and when we examine the experience like a doctor examining her patient with care, but without identification, we begin to see it's not permanent, it's not personal, it's not perfect. It rises, it changes, it passes away. And in that seeing, freedom, our liberation begins. So with mindfulness, that's what we're doing. We're developing awareness of what is happening inside of heart and mind. And with equanimity, we are training the heart not to react to it. These two together, awareness and equanimity, they're the wings of liberation. Every sensation, every emotion becomes our teacher, our beautiful, perfect teacher. Each one whispering, this too is impermanent, arising, passing away. And when we know this not as a philosophy, but as our direct, immediate, felt experience, the chain of suffering begins to break. Because there's no fresh reactions, no new craving, no new aversion from which our suffering arises from. Just the clarity of our seeing. Because the real cause of our suffering isn't what's happening around or within us. It's our reaction to what's happening. Our blind nervous system's reflex to not want what is here and to want what's not here. This is that insatiable, unquenchable thirst that the Buddha spoke about, which is called tanha. And when we stop feeding tanha, the firing of our suffering slowly goes out. So the entire path from suffering to peace is a training in not reacting. A sensation appears. The mind begins to like or dislike, and right there, in that tiny moment, we can choose to wake up. We can choose to feel the sensation in the body. Observe it clearly without preference. Then the emotion never has a chance to grow. It simply rises. We don't react and it falls away. The mind stays balanced. And that balance, this stillness, is peaceful, beautifully delicious peace. Each time that you're aware of a sensation and don't react, you've created a moment of inner freedom. String together those moments. A few seconds becomes a few minutes, an hour, a few hours become a day, a week. And soon you find yourself living from a steadier, quieter inner space. A place where life continues to move, but the heart remains unbroken, always capable to love and appropriately respond. So perhaps today, or in the next meditation, you might experiment with this. Or in this meditation, in a few moments, to experiment with this, to feel what it feels like, to not have a reactive relationship with life, to sit with the breath, to sit with the sounds, the feelings, and notice, can I let this be as it is? Can I feel what it's like to not grasp, to not resist, to be one with life exactly as it unfolds? This is peace. And it's not something achieved, but something remembered. The natural stillness of the mind and heart that no longer argues with what is. So let's just end this with a simple reflection. When you cease to divide experience into what you like and what you dislike, you begin to rest in something vast and unconditional. You begin to remember who you truly are. And from that stillness, peace isn't something that you're seeking any longer. It's what remains when we stop resisting what is. When we stop resisting life. Let's start this meditation by finding a posture that feels both relaxed and alert. Allow your body to settle into stillness. Allow the breath to flow naturally. And take a few intentional deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And with each exhale, feel yourself arriving a little more fully into this moment. Let the body rest. Allow the mind to soften. Let this be a time of gentle investigation. We're not trying to get anywhere, not trying to fix anything. Simply a time to explore with curiosity what it feels like to meet life without resistance. Now bring your attention to the sensations of sitting here. Notice the pressure where your body meets the chair or cushion. Notice the sensations of your feet and what they're touching or resting upon. Notice the subtle play of movement as the breath goes and comes. And simply observe. No need to control, no need to analyze. Notice warmth or coolness, tingling or stillness. Notice heaviness or lightness. Notice comfort or discomfort. Allow each sensation to be exactly as it is. You may feel pleasant sensations, unpleasant ones, or neutral ones. And look very closely and notice how the mind naturally leans, wanting to grab onto and hold a sensation or experience that's pleasant, wanting to push away and keep away what's unpleasant. The practice here in meditation is just to see this deeply conditioned tendency clearly. And for now, don't interfere with it. Just notice it. Let each sensation arise and pass in its own rhythm and in its own way. Keep the awareness soft but steady. Think of it maybe like you're trying to listen to the hum of the world without trying to change its song. Now, bring the attention more intimately to the breath. Perhaps feeling the breath like a wave moving through the body. The expansion on the in-breath, the softening on the out-breath. Let the breath anchor you in the present moment. Notice how even this simple act of breathing changes moment to moment. It's infinitely fascinating because no two breaths are ever the same. See if you can allow each breath to come and go without any preference, without any interference. Just noticing you're receiving the breath without any control. If the breath feels smooth, allow it to be smooth. If it feels rough and jagged, let it be rough and jagged. If it's shallow and hurried, allow it to be shallow and hurried. Whatever the breath is, it's already happening. You're simply the witness, observing its natural dance. Now widen the awareness beyond the breath. Include sensations throughout the body. From the crown of the head, down through the face, neck, shoulders, chest, belly, arms, legs. Allow the entire body to be held in awareness. Tingling, pulsing, warmth, heaviness, energy, stillness. Everything changing, everything moving. Now begin to notice how certain sensations or sounds or even thoughts have the power to grab and pull the mind's attention. Just notice this with curiosity. Maybe there's a sound right now. A tightness in the chest, a thought about something undone, a difficult memory. Notice, does the mind say yes or no to this? Notice if it reaches for it or does it push it away? And this push and pull can be just infinitely subtle, but also very large and powerful, and anything in between. These macro and micro movements of mind, of liking and disliking, these are the seeds of suffering. So let's practice this. Each time that you notice that the mind has moved toward or away from something, your job is just to simply see it. No judgment, no correction, just awareness. Just the very seeing of it begins the freedom. And then return to the raw sensation of the moment, this breath, this sound, this feeling in the body, this emotion or memory. Neither for nor against, neither grasping or rejecting, just here. Let this be a space where everything that arises is allowed to be exactly as it is. At times, a strong emotion may arise. Maybe it's sadness, fear, loneliness, anger, self-judgment, shame. Have to be the practice of not pushing it away, not pushing it away if it's an unpleasant emotion, and if it's a pleasant emotion, not chasing after it. Instead, feel where that emotion lives in the body. Where is it most vivid right now? And pull away the label of that emotion and go to the direct sensation of it in the body. Is it heat, tightness? Is it a stillness or a vibration? Does it move or is it still? Is it a pulse or an ache? Let the attention rest gently here. Wherever that emotion may be in the body as a sensation, let the attention rest gently there, as if you're placing a warm hand of awareness on that part of yourself. And if it feels right, you can even actually physically place the hand there. You're not analyzing the story. You're not trying to make it go away. You're simply staying present with what is felt. Notice how the sensation isn't static. It moves. It vibrates. It changes. See its impermanence. Notice its beginning, its middle, its fading away. And that difficult emotion may return again and again and again, that's okay. Each time it does, meet it with the same calm curiosity. This too is changing. This too will pass. Each moment you can stay present without reaction. You're dissolving the innate habit of that creates our suffering. Now, open the field of awareness out to include the mind itself. Thoughts appear and disappear like clouds in the sky. See if it's possible to watch them come or go. See if they can just arise and then just as mysteriously pass away without following them or without avoiding them or pushing them. A thought arises. I should have done this better. I should have done something different. Notice the feeling that it stirs in the body. Notice the emotion. The emotion is the echo of a thought in the body. Or it's maybe the body's response to a thought. Notice just the feeling that it stirs in the body. And then just let it be. Watch how it dissolves, how it passes away on its own, how it comes back again. The mind will produce thoughts, exude thoughts endlessly. But you're not the thoughts. You are the awareness in which thoughts arise from and within. Invite that awareness to expand, boundless, still, unaffected by what moves in and through it. Now begin to sense what it feels like to not be in a like-dislike relationship with life. What does it feel like in the body when you're simply resting in awareness? No pushing, no pulling, no struggle. No judgment here, just noticing and being curious. Is there a sense of spaciousness or ease? Perhaps a quiet joy that has no cause? Let yourself taste that stillness. Let it permeate your breathing, your body, your being. Savor it, even bathe within it. This is the felt experience of inner peace. Not something created, but something revealed. And it's revealed when we stop resisting life. Now, as this meditation slowly draws to a close, begin to feel the body again. Notice the weight of it, the contact with the seat or floor. Notice the rhythm of the breath. Recognize that nothing special needs to happen. This awareness, this equanimity, it's already always part of you. And it can be carried into every moment of your life. When someone speaks to you, when you feel pain or pleasure, when the world shifts under your feet unexpectedly, you can meet it all with the same open presence. Awareness and equanimity doesn't mean indifference. It means intimacy without control. Loving what is without needing to make it different. Now let the breath deepen a little more. Softly move the fingers and toes. And just for a moment, rest in gratitude. Gratitude for the simple truth that peace isn't something we must find. Peace is something that remains when we stop resisting what's already here. And when you're ready, just notice the sounds in the space. And notice that even as life resumes its motion, the quiet in your mind, heart, in the chitta remains. Carry that stillness into your day, moment by moment, breath by breath. And this is how we move beyond happiness and unhappiness and rest in the peace of being one with life.